Hello! So this video is all about the sun. All you want to know about the sun. Well, first off, talking about astronomically and just the world and everything. The sun is our star. It's the center of our solar system, hence the word solar, based off of the sun, sol. Is literally the system of the sun. Basically, the sun existing, exuding light, just being itself, having all these different astronomical bodies orbiting around. Looking at it in astrological terms, the sun sign, a person's sun sign is. Let me see if I can turn off. Oh, nice and dark for a sun video. A person's sun sign is their main sign, their kind of umbrella sign energy. You know, for example, I was born in June 14th, which is the solar sign, the sun sign of Gemini. And so that's kind of like a overarching energy for me. You know, I mean, I don't think anyone should get too attached or really get attached at all. Well, maybe not. I don't think anyone should get too attached to a sign, getting proud or feeling like a sign is better than the other or anything. And so I don't think it'd be wise to identify with this sign. But a sun sign is kind of like for example, me personally, I have no problem saying, you know, I'm a Gemini because that's my sun sign. It's just one perspective, though. Vedic astrology uses the moon instead of the sun, like in Western tropical astrology, which basically Western astrology, tropical astrology, follows the path of the sun in the ecliptic, basically just the path of the sun through all the signs, and also involved in seasons. That's a whole other topic, and it's complicated. I'm getting confused already. But yeah, so let's see, what else about the sun? Astrologically, it rules Leo, and I have another video on that, talking about just the nature of Leo and why the sun is so apt for Leo. And I guess I could talk a little bit here. Basically, just the sun's luminescence, brilliance, shining, pure fire. All of that is also Leo. Leo is a fire sign. It is concerned with being brilliant, shining forth, just very much being kind of independent. And the sun is a very, I mean, considering how huge it is in comparison to everything else in the solar system, and considering gravitationally how everything revolves around it, at least in this solar system, I think it's fair to say that the sun's pretty independent. Let's see, what else about the sun? Some base facts. 74% hydrogen, 25% helium, 1% other elements. I remember in my astronomy class we were talking about, I believe, hold on, let me turn this off. Yeah. I believe the sun has some, like, couple billion years to go before it transforms into the next phase of being a star, which I'm not really sure. I don't know if that's a supernova, like an explosion. That sounds right, but I'm not sure. But, yeah, there's different layers to the sun. Which is kind of funny if you think about the sign of Leo, metaphorically. The different layers of fire, always burning. Public fire, private fire. I think that's all I can really think of. I guess reiterating the astrological thing. Basically, whatever your sun sign is very useful it's very useful to understand your sun sign thoroughly, and honestly to understand all the sun signs, because then you can better understand people where they're coming from and better understand how they are. Assumptions are made every single day between people simply because of sun sign differences. Because somebody is an air sign, and so they think a certain way, and they'll say something, and it'll be taken completely different by an earth sign, sun sign, for example. Just differences of energy. So I think knowing the 12 sun signs is extremely useful, because it's just useful. It's just literally everyday life. You can understand people to an nth degree, and just in the little bit of knowing their sun sign. A little interesting tidbit. I believe I don't know the exact degrees, but Venus and Mercury can only be within a certain degrees of whatever the sun is. So if you know somebody's sun sign, you also know a potential for their Mercury and a potential for their Venus. A person's Mercury sign is either the sun sign, one before or one after. For example, I am a sun sign Gemini. My Mercury can either be, which rules a whole other part of my being, can either be in Gemini, one before Taurus, or one after Cancer. And yeah, any Gemini out there can only be a Gemini with Mercury in Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer. Just like any other sign. Capricorn can only be one of 3 Mercuries. Capricorn, one before Sag, one after Aquarius. So that's really fun, because if you know that little tidbit, and you know the order of the zodiac signs, then you can immediately have an idea of somebody's Mercury sign if you know their sun sign. Oh, I'm an Aries, boom, okay, it can be either Pisces, one before, Aries, or Taurus. And I actually, that's a really useful tool, and very, very accurate tool to figure out people's Mercuries in conjunction, because, and this is a whole other video, I'll do a video on Mercury eventually, but people's Mercuries and how it interacts with the sun is very, very interesting, and a very useful energy track to know. For example, an air sun sign having an earth Mercury, let alone specifically, Libra with Mercury Virgo, or Aquarius Mercury Capricorn. It's very useful. Anyway, so that's the Mercury part. And the Venus one, again, if you know the sun sign, you have a very good idea of the Venus sign. You've just basically cut the potential of signs in half. So that's good. From 12 to 5? 5. So, for example, say it's sun sign Leo. Sun sign Leo, the Venus sign, which rules a whole other part of their being, again, and I'll do a video on that and stuff. The Venus sign can either be in that sign 1 or 2 before, or 1 or 2 after. So, sun sign Leo can have a Venus in Leo, or Venus in 1 before, Cancer, or Venus in 2 before, Gemini, or 1 after, Virgo, or 2 after, Libra. Interesting little tidbit that helps all this sink in more. So for example, we have sun sign Leo, fire sun sign. The ones on either end, 2 before or 2 after, are always going to be an element that is sextile that other element. That sounds complicated, it's really not. Basically what it is sun sign Leo can have 2 air Venuses, one of 2 air Venuses. You can only have 1 Venus sign at a time. But check it out. Sun sign Leo can have 1 before, which is Venus in Cancer, right? Water Venus, what else? Or 2 before, Gemini, air. Air and fire, sextile. Air and fire, sextile, and earth and water, sextile. Just means the 2 elements get along together beautifully. And just again, to finish this point, and this is a very useful tidbit, Leo can also have Venus in Virgo, earth, or Venus in Libra, air. So on one side, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, other air. Sun sign is air, the Venus can have 1 of 2 fires. Sun sign is water, the Venus can have 1 of 2 earths. So that's just an interesting thing. I actually, I'm still investigating to another depth what that means, because there's so much more there, I think. But yeah, suffice to say, the sun sign is important, and it dictates a lot of how our energies flow and how they go and what we need and how we express ourselves, and all of that is the sun, because the sun is such a huge part in our lives. I mean, right now we're rotating around it. It's giving us life. We are basically reflections of sunlight. I mean, we are. Our sun signs are the most important sign to know in Western astrology, and it's huge in Vedic as well. But yeah, that's all I can really think of for now. If I think of anything else, I'll put up a video. But it's very profound to think that the sun's path through the ecliptic, basically the zodiacal wheel, every single year, how the sun is impacting us in different ways throughout the year, either in a water energy or fire or whatever. But it's amazing to think that that is so powerful, that impacts us at birth so much that it makes up a huge part of our character and the kind of general who we are, you know what I mean? Not only that, but it's also amazing that the sun's path through the ecliptic of every year is a cycle that we all undergo and that we all experience. Right now I'm in Pisces energies, for example. It's February 25th. And the sun is hitting the earth right now with Piscean water energy. And it's incredible that the sun's influence is always there and always dramatic and always powerful. Whether it's at birth, imprinting you with this really powerful energy of being, whether it's Capricorn or Scorpio or Gemini or whatever, or right now, just the sun's influence right now on the world and every single living being. It's pretty unreal. It's pretty amazing. So, again, I encourage you to know your sun sign, the sun signs in general. I mean, at your leisure, however you want, I mean, that's the whole point of life, is to find your own path through it. But I really do, I can't stress enough how useful it is to know those 12 sun signs. And just knowing a little bit about them, because people start making sense to so much more degree. Even if you don't know little technical things about each sign, just knowing that there are people out there that are very, for example, Scorpio, more shy, more reserved, more focused on loyalty and really good friends that they get to know. If you're a Sag and you have no idea about the signs and you think everyone's like you, fiery, and I can't wait to get to know everyone and love everyone, a Scorpio is not going to make sense to you. And if you've never met a Scorpio, it's going to be like, oh my god, it's going to be like a nightmare, basically, of just like, who is this person? People aren't all like me, or aren't all like, basically just things don't make sense. And if you know that there are people out there that are Scorpio, so many misunderstandings can be put away, because that Sag can understand, okay, no, this person is just a little bit different from me. So they're not rejecting my friendship, they're just trying to make sure that I'm actually sincere. Just a little bit of knowledge goes such a long, infinite ways, and tolerance and understanding and people working and communicating together. So yeah, I really think everybody should be taught the 12 sun signs and just be aware of the different qualities of each, because I think so much pain and unnecessary suffering can be avoided just through the appreciation of there being different energies of life. So a sun sign Libra sees life completely differently from a sun sign Taurus. Although both are completely necessary and useful for the world. So that's my spiel on the sun. If I think of anything else, I will tell you. Love that is in infinitude. And namaste. Sun sign.